Hello, welcome to the channel. Today we are painting my Panzer Arms M4 cologne and my Ruger 1022 stock. It's the Magpul stock. So at the start of the video I'm going to lay out, if I'm breathing really heavy it's because it's friggin' hot as hell. It's Texas. It's super friggin' hot. These are what you will need for painting your weapons if you want to do some sort of outdoor camouflage to help it blend in. First thing you'll need, let's see if I can zoom in here, cup of coffee, cotton swabs, and alcohol. That is for cleaning the surface that we are painting. It's basically like a preparatory stage. It gets all of the oils from your fingers and all that crap off of the weapons. Next we will use painter's tape and masking tape and a knife to mask off the parts of the weapon that we do not want painted. So the inside of the receiver, the bolt, the end of the barrel, the iron sights, things of that nature, the butt pad. Next, you'll need a respirator, a pair of gloves for safety so you're not breathing in the toxic fumes from the paint that causes issues down the road. You want to avoid that. Duh. Next is some sort of stencil. I have a tree stencil and a mesh stencil. You can also use like a laundry hamper bag that has like the little holes in it. Kind of looks like a grate like that. You can use like a steel grate, anything that has perforations, chicken wire, things like that. Next you'll want paint that matches the environment that you're going to be traveling in with your firearm. So for me that is khaki, kind of like a mossy green. It says, yeah, moss green, deep forest green, and dark walnut. If you notice, these two are those camouflage specialty paints. Those are great options, but don't just choose the ones with the name brands on it. Choose the colors that actually work for you. You will also need a cardboard sheet to use as a backsplash for your painting. I recommend weighing down the corners so it doesn't fly away in the wind. I'm going to start prepping the weapons with the alcohol right now, and I will get back to you in a second. So now we have prepped our weapons with the alcohol, getting all of the oil off of them. Excuse, the dogs are gonna walk through the frame for sure. I have taped off all the areas I don't want painted. This is iron sights, the end of the muzzle, threads for my end cap. I don't want my end cap painted, so I've separated that. The inside of the chamber, taken out the trigger group assembly. I've taped off that, taped off my rear sight. I've taken off the rubber butts on the back. I don't want those painted. These are my spacers. I want those painted on the end of the buttstock. I don't want my comb painted, and I've taken out basically the entire firing mechanism, barrel, everything on the Ruger. Okay, so now I will put the dogs inside, obviously. Wear my respirator. This entire time while prepping I've been wearing gloves. Kind of ripped it a little bit, but that is to keep my hand oils off of the gun. In the next part I will demonstrate some different painting techniques, some of the other firearms I've painted in the past, and I will go through painting these weapons. So for this next part I'm going to be painting both of these weapons with a base coat of black khaki, just tan. Then the shotgun I will be doing brown tiger stripes with maybe some brown splatter. I haven't really decided yet. And then this one I think we're going to go with a dark green and brown just across the whole thing. So let's get to it. Also, ensure that you have mixed your paint thoroughly. Now we're gonna let that dry, and then we can start working on our different color layers. So now I have masked off the shotgun for the tiger stripe camo, and I will be using that stencil right here. It is of like a tree pattern almost. Not almost, it is a tree pattern. I'll put branches on the stock for the rooter, and then for the panzer arms, we're going to be doing tiger stripes. So I'm going to shake up my paint, get my respirator on, and get going. We're gonna let it dry for a couple minutes, take the tape off, and then let it dry further. Now with this stock, we are gonna be utilizing a stencil, putting on branches using brown. Don't be too worried about how neat you're doing it or if it looks sloppy. You want it to be somewhat, I guess, disturbed in nature, so it doesn't look too good. It kind of blends in the image. You want it to break apart the image. You want it to be effective camouflage. And it is spray paint. It's not going to last forever. It'll rub off. So in due time, it will rub off and you'll just have to redo it. So don't worry. Don't be worried about doing it too perfect. Okay, here we go. Okay, we got a good example here. If you look right here, got a little bit of overspray. So I'm gonna come back with the khaki tan and hit that overspray so it doesn't look so square and blocky. Bam! Didn't even happen. Let me zoom in on it so I prove it. Doesn't even show. So now you're gonna let this dry. And for this one, we're gonna come back and hit it with some dark green, and then we'll hit it with just a little bit of mossy green for some highlights on the leaves. So now, using forest green, kind of like a dark green, in combination with this pattern, we're going to lightly spray in order to create leaves on the tree branches that we've already created. So that's pretty much it for all those. I'm gonna get them all assembled, let it dry off, and then show you the finished product. And then we'll also do some samples on a piece of cardboard, kind of like this, but just demonstrating what happens if you use different colors for the base color, different sorts of background colors, and different patterns that you can do. For our first painting, the Panzer M4 turned out pretty dang nice. I added some of these black dots all over with a stencil I made with just normal printer paper, just cut out some holes. It's kind of like the chocolate chip pattern now. And then in order to tone down some of those black dots that I did across the shotgun, I just went over with that grid pattern a little bit in tan, as you can see here very clearly. Kind of toned it down a little bit. I avoided going over any of the brown with the tan as much as possible to still keep those tiger stripes. I think it actually turned out pretty good. I think it's a pretty good looking weapon now. So now we'll move on to the Ruger 10/22 and some of the other ones that I've painted myself. Now we are looking at the Ruger 10/22. Eventually I'll have a scope mounted on this. I'm getting a new barrel. It's got the Timney trigger in it, the Magpul stock. Kept the comb black, kept the end cap black. Just went straight tan on the stacks. Black on everything else. Obviously we're gonna go with a silver barrel later on. I think it turned out pretty nice. I tried to do like highlights in between the dark green in here, highlights of mossy green right there in the middle. You see a little bit different. This one isn't so much a camouflage as it is just for looks, because this is going to be a competition gun. I just wanted it to look a little bit nice. Now we're gonna move on to older ones that I did. You can see some different styles that you can do for those. This is one I did not too long ago. It is a Savage 64 22 long rifle, semi-automatic, black on the end plate. This one I'm using eventually for squirrel hunting, so I went for like a mossy tree look, kind of what's native here to Houston. I've got a Tasco 4x32 scope on there, just something cheap I got at a surplus store. I made this cool paracord sling for it. Holds it pretty decent. This one turned out really nice. This is my first time using the tree pattern. I went for more of a bold tree pattern with this one. Overall, I like this one. And then we'll go to the last one, my AR-15. So, this is my last one. Is a Radical Arms AR-15. I know they're a little bit cheaper. It's fine. It's pretty cool. This one turned out pretty good from the factory. Got the factory bolt carrier group in there, factory trigger, mil-spec, factory ambidextrous safety. Charging handle is done by Kula's rifles. It's the Fuse. Really love this ambidextrous charging handle. It's also made for suppressors as well, so it has those cuts cut into it. Really smooth charging handle. Cabela's 1x6 LPVO. It's been working out really nice. I just need to get a new mount for it. It's a little too low for my liking. I have the Ruger flip up sights. I just went for cheap iron sights. They work. They're not too bad. I've got Magpul furniture on this one. Have the rubber grip down here. This is the stock, basically the OEM stock that came with it. I'm rocking a 1-point sling. I don't like the 1-point sling on longer barrels, so I'm going to switch out to a 2-point sling. I forget who does this muzzle brake, but this thing makes it so there's like 0 recoil on this thing. This one I went for a basic like checkered pattern that I did with a metal grate. And I just alternated the colors, so brown, mossy green, brown, mossy green, brown, mossy green, just back and forth throughout the whole rifle. This one is just basically the color scheme you'll see from about San Antonio all the way up towards Arkansas and all that type of stuff. When painting your rifle, determine where you're going to be hunting at and where you plan to be living at and what your course of action is. Choose colors that suit where you're going. If you live in Arizona in the middle of nowhere, you want to do a desert tannish browns, like do different shades of brown and tan. If you live up in a snowy climate, have one for white snow environment with some like dark grays and maybe some light blues. And then go down to your browns and your greens for the summertime. Just find what works for you. With the spray paint, don't be too scared. You can always just redo it. Just really go for it. Don't really think about it too much. try a little bit, practice on some cardboard first, and then just send it. Tape off everything that you need taped off. That's the most important thing. And just enjoy yourself. And remember, perfect practice makes perfect.